Welcome to a new day of truth and awakening, and thank you all for tuning in to another edition of the original histories of Africa and migrations of the ancient worlds. I am your King and Royal Majesty, Pharaoh Mitzrahim, historian, geographer, and the voice of truth. And today I will be teaching on the subject Ancient Egyptians in Sub-Sahara Africa, 660 BCE. But before we get started, be sure to look below, subscribe to this channel, and after watching this video, click the link below to my Patreon and become a member of my Patreon. Thank you. Some 2,600 years ago, a mass migration of Egyptians migrated out of Egypt. And fortunately, we have both a primary and a secondary source that gives us a detailed description on this event. And on this video, we are going to show the secondary source. But if you want to know what the primary source is, then after this video, click the link below to my Patreon and become a member. So without further ado, let's show the secondary source, examine it, and find out where did these Egyptians migrate to, when did they migrate, and why did they migrate? No more waiting for the truth. Let us now begin our lesson. And concerning that secondary source, it is found here in Diodorus Siculus, Library of Histories, translated by Charles Henry Oldfather, 1st century BCE, Book 1, Chapter 67, and it says, and quote, "And since Psammetichus had established his rule with the aid of the mercenaries, he henceforth entrusted these before others with the administration of his empire, and regularly maintained large mercenary forces. Once in connection with a campaign in Syria, when he was given the mercenaries a more honorable place in his order of battle by putting them on the right wing, and showing the native troops less honor by assigning them the position on the left wing of the phalanx. The Egyptians, angered by this sight, and being over 200,000 strong, revolted and set out for Ethiopia, having determined to win for themselves a country of their own." Based on the passage we just read, Diodorus Siculus states over 200,000 strong native Egyptian soldiers, angered at a dishonor done to them by their king Psammetichus in favor of foreign mercenaries, migrated out of Egypt and set out for Ethiopia, determined to possess for themselves a country of their own. And this king, Psammetichus I, reigned as king of Egypt in the years 664 to 610 BCE and was the founder of the 26th dynasty. But let's continue. Diodorus Siculus, Library of Histories, Book 1, Chapter 67, Part 4, continued. "The king at first sent some of his generals to make excuse for the dishonor done to them. But since no heed was paid to these, he set out in person after them by boat, accompanied by his friends. And when they still continued their march along the Nile and were about to cross the boundary of Egypt, he besought them to change their purpose and reminded them of their temples, their homeland, and of their wives and children. But they, all crying aloud and striking their spears against their shields, declared that so long as they had weapons in their hands, they would easily find homelands. And lifting their garments and pointing to their genitals, they said that so long as they had those, they would never be in want either of wives or of children. After such a display of high courage and of utter disdain for what among other men is regarded as of the greatest consequence, they seized the best part of Ethiopia, and after apportioning much land among themselves, they made their home there." As we just read, Diodorus Siculus states, these native Egyptian soldiers who migrated out of Egypt arrived in Ethiopia, and there seized the best part of Ethiopia, divided the land amongst themselves, and made their home there. But there's a problem, and problem is, Diodorus does not tell us where in Ethiopia they settled at, or what part of Ethiopia they dwelt. meaning he does not say if they went south, east, or west. And also he does not tell us how far in Ethiopia they went. And although Diodorus tells us these Egyptians migrated out of Egypt and arrived in Ethiopia, he gives us no additional clues to pinpoint their exact location in Ethiopia. But if you want to know the exact location of these native Egyptian soldiers in Ethiopia according to the primary source, then please click the link below this video to my Patreon. Become a member of my Patreon and watch my video, Ancient Egyptians in West Africa after the fall of Egypt, 660 BCE. And there, in that video, you will discover the truth that has been kept hidden from us for over 2,400 years. And this is the truth that shall set us free. And on this, I conclude. So, there it is. According to the ancient historian Diodorus Siculus, an army of Egyptians migrated out of Egypt and settled in Ethiopia during the reign of their king Psammetichus I, founder of the 26th dynasty of Egypt. And this is according to the secondary source. But if you want to find out exactly where in Ethiopia these Egyptians settled at based on the primary source, then please click the link below to my Patreon, become a member, and watch my video, Ancient Egyptians in West Africa after the fall of Egypt. And this is a must-see confidential video that is made only for those who are serious in seeking the truth. And by you purchasing my videos and supporting me shows me you appreciate my hard work and effort. And for that, I am thankful. And the price to unlock this video and become a member of my Patreon is $20. And you can stay a member or cancel your membership anytime you like. And the money you spend on my Patreon will go towards producing a historically accurate Black African ancient Egyptian movie that is coming soon. And also, I will be posting videos every month, both on my YouTube and on my Patreon, so you might want to stay a member for that. And becoming a member of my Patreon is very important, because I reveal the true history of our ancient ancestors coming directly from the first original historians and from the ancient texts written long before the English. And with that said, this is your brother Pharaoh Mitzrahim signing out saying, go join my Patreon and let's get this movement moving. Until next time, Egypt stays in Africa. Peace, Ma'at, Hotep, Amen Ra, and may you all have a wonderful day.